Hello Goldens, today we are making cocoyam flour fufu. If you are new, thanks for joining, and to my old golden members, I love you all. All I need for this recipe is cocoyam. I wash and peel my cocoyam and take my slicer and slice my cocoyam. I lay it on the floor, making sure that each of the cocoyam lies on its own. I didn't stack them on each other because I wanted it to dry very fast. And in less than 3 days, my cocoyam was dried very well. It was in the month of February, so the sun was very high. After a few days of my cocoyam being in the sun, it was ready for processing. So I gathered my cocoyam and took it to the nearest grinding mill to process it into a flour form. To begin the cocoyam flour fufu, I scooped the quantity that would be enough for me, approximately 2 scoops. I mashed it with water to get a smooth paste, but I misplaced the clip. Here is me mixing my plantain flour fufu in the picture above. That's the similar way I used for the cocoyam flour fufu. After I placed it on fire and begin to stir, I stir it gradually to make sure it does not become lumpy. When it starts to thicken, I begin to break the lumps that has formed, because if I don't break it, I'm going to get a lumpy fufu. Comparing cocoyam flour fufu and cocoyam fufu, the blended one, I prefer both. But when it comes to stretchiness, the cocoyam flour fufu is more stretchy than the cocoyam fufu which was blended. If I want to rank it from the pound cocoyam to the flour cocoyam to the blended one, it's going to start with the pound one, then the flour one, then the blended one. The pound one being the highest and the blended one being the lowest. And we all know that when it comes to authentic fufu, it is the pound one. No competition. After driving my fufu for a while, I add water for the water to incorporate well to soften my cocoyam fufu. After it boils for a while, I take my stirring stick and stir and turn it so that the heat can incorporate in all areas of my fufu. After a while, I come and stir it. I stir it continuously till it smoothens so that I can begin to drive it. This stage, I can proceed to leave my fufu down and do other things and it wouldn't be lumpy. But for it to be stretchy enough, we'll continue to drive it till it is ready for consumption. After stirring it for a while, I prep it and cover it so that the steam can enter inside the fufu for it to cook thoroughly. After the steam enters in, I come back and then ride it or drive it so that it can get a smooth form for consumption. After a while, the fufu is ready and I'm about to serve it with my delicious nkatebe soup. If you've not seen that video, the link is in my description below. Check the card above as well for that recipe. It is very delicious and tasty, very creamy and flavorful. Today I was very hungry, extremely hungry, so I didn't want to do the apotoyiwa part. So I just scooped my fufu and decided to prep it a little with my hand just to make sure it doesn't tear apart when I add my soup. I did that and then proceeded to add my soup because I wasn't ready for that shenanigans. After prepping it with my hand, I added okra because I need okra for swallow, and then added my nkatebe to the side, and then I didn't even know the time I finished this soup. I was hungry. So you guys just imagine if I was to pound this fufu from scratch, I would have starved. But because flour fufu was readily available for me, I had a quick, tasty, flavorful lunch which was extremely delicious. I love you so much. Remember that Jesus is coming soon. So in all you do, seek salvation. Thank you.